Hello, friend. Right now, the Middle East is experiencing one of the most dangerous conflicts in decades. Missiles are flying, cities are being bombed, and three powerful nations, the United States, Israel, and Iran, are now directly at war. But this war didn't start yesterday. It didn't start last year. It's been building for over 45 years. To understand why this is happening now, we have to go back to the beginning, because at one point in history, Iran and Israel weren't enemies at all. They were allies. When Israel became a country in 1948, many Middle Eastern nations opposed it. But Iran was different. Iran recognized Israel early. They traded oil, they shared intelligence, they even cooperated secretly on military projects. At the time, Iran was ruled by a king called the Shah. He was friendly with the United States, and the United States supported him. Everything seemed stable. But beneath the surface, anger was growing. In 1979, everything collapsed. The Iranian people overthrew their king. A new government took control. It was led by religious leaders who deeply opposed the United States and Israel. They believed the U.S. had interfered in Iran's government for decades. They called America the Great Satan and Israel the Little Satan. Iran cut off all relations with Israel. From that moment on, they became enemies, and they still are today. But the real danger wasn't just political, it was nuclear. In the years that followed, Iran began developing nuclear technology. Iran says its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, like energy. But Israel and the United States believe Iran could use it to build nuclear weapons. And that changes everything. Because nuclear weapons can destroy entire cities and Israel is a small country. If Iran built nuclear weapons, Israel fears it could threaten its very existence. So Israel made a decision. They would stop Iran, no matter what it takes. For decades, the conflict remained mostly hidden, secret, silent. Israel launched cyber attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. Scientists connected to Iran's nuclear program were assassinated. Explosions mysteriously destroyed Iranian military sites. Iran responded indirectly. They supported groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. These groups attacked Israeli targets. This became known as a proxy war, a war fought through others. But eventually, the shadow war began to emerge into the open. The United States has one of the strongest alliances in the world with Israel. They provide weapons, military support, and protection. The United States also has military bases throughout the Middle East. Iran sees these bases as a threat. Iran believes the United States is trying to weaken or control them, so Iran has targeted U.S. bases and allies in the region. This makes the United States and Iran direct enemies, and then everything escalated. On February 28, 2026, the conflict dramatically escalated. The United States and Israel launched large, coordinated airstrikes across Iran targeting military facilities, missile sites, and nuclear infrastructure. Some reports say hundreds of strikes hit Iranian targets within hours. The strikes also killed top Iranian leadership, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The operation was known as Operation Lion's Roar. This was the moment the shadow war turned into open war. Their goal was clear: slow down or destroy Iran's military and nuclear capabilities. Iran responded immediately. Iran launched ballistic missiles and drone attacks toward Israel and U.S. military bases throughout the region. Missiles targeted Israel-U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, and Gulf military facilities. Some attacks even struck the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, injuring civilians and damaging infrastructure. Iran also launched drones and missiles toward Kuwait and other Gulf countries, killing soldiers and injuring dozens of troops. The conflict quickly spread across the entire region. This war isn't just affecting the Middle East, it's shaking the entire world. Oil markets have been heavily impacted. Fears that Iran could disrupt shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil routes on Earth, caused global energy prices to surge. To stabilize the market, the United States even announced it would release hundreds of millions of barrels of oil from its emergency reserves. Financial markets around the world reacted immediately. This conflict is extremely dangerous for several reasons. First, military alliances. If more countries join the conflict, it could expand into a much larger war. Second, energy supply. The Middle East produces a large portion of the world's oil. If shipping routes are disrupted, global economies could suffer. And third, nuclear risk. If nuclear weapons ever entered this conflict, the consequences could be catastrophic. As of now, the war continues. Airstrikes are ongoing, missiles and drones continue to be launched. Some attacks have been intercepted by advanced defense systems like Iron Dome and THAAD, reducing damage in some areas. But experts warn the conflict could last for months, or even years. This is why the world is watching closely. At the core of this conflict is fear. Israel fears Iran could one day attack them with nuclear weapons. Iran fears the United States, and Israel want to overthrow their government. The United States fears Iran gaining too much power in the Middle East. Each side sees the other as a threat, and when nations feel threatened, they go to war. No one knows exactly what will happen next. The conflict could calm down, or it could escalate further. History shows that wars often begin slowly, then suddenly expand. What happens in the coming months could shape the future of the Middle East and the world. The conflict between the United States, Iran, and Israel is not just about weapons. It's about history, power, fear, and survival. Understanding this conflict helps us understand the forces shaping our world today. Because history isn't just something that happened in the past. It's happening right now. If you want to learn more about the hidden conflicts, forgotten history, and global events shaping our world, subscribe to Random Facts so you won't miss the next video. See you next time.